Salakim, although it's not as busy. We've still got Jake out here, and, you know, people walking by. Well, obviously I'm close to the Tesco marketplace, you know, preaching. But it's not as busy as Elephant and Castle, of course, because of the fact that there's literally a station nearby. Well, you know, still preaching, still good. Anyways, let me get started. So lucky. What's it justify? Always. Allah Shajah Yahweh, Bahasham, Adaz upon Yahasham, Mashiach, Bahasham Rahak Wadash, double honors to the great Muslim apostle, Kahalalillah, meaning all praises to the Most High Yahweh, Yahweh being the ancient Hebrew name of the Most High, or which the world ignorantly calls God, and of course Yahushua being the ancient Hebrew name of the Messiah, or which the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And of course today's lesson is about the excuse about giving, the fact that this is not your generation in order to decide whether you take that mark of the beast or not. Because we know with the older generation, they've lived by in those times where they were getting digital tattoos in the economy in order to pay for things. I mean, obviously right now we've got in Sweden that microchip, and the thing is people are using that microchip to pay for things. So they've lived through different times, man, in which they thought this was the mark of the beast, that was the mark of the beast. But the thing is, what's really coming, the actual mark of the beast, which of course is going to refine all buying and selling to just a microchip implant, then that time is actually going to come soon. And that's what people got to realize, man. That the thing is, the cash that you have in your wallets right now, the bank accounts, the digits that you've got in your bank accounts right now, eventually it's all going to be wiped out, man. I mean, that's why they call it the Great Reset as well. They're going to wipe out everything. All these small local businesses as well, they're already struggling. Some of them already got phased out, you know. Right now as well, small businesses, they're going to keep trying, but of course eventually they're going to fade. That's the thing. Then you're going to have all the big corporations with that beast system controlling everything. That's ultimately the time to come. A time where those heathens and of course 2/3 Israelites destined to take the mark of the beast are going to take that mark. They're going to take that microchip implant to come. And that's going to be death. But by taking the microchip implant, the mark of the beast, that's basically one betraying Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Because you're not supposed to put your faith and trust in Esau like that. But which you take the mark and then you throw away the soul. And it says in the scriptures, what does it benefit a man if he gains the world and loses his soul? But the thing is, your soul is actually more essential than your vessel right now. Your carnal vessel, your fleshly vessel. This terrestrial vessel right here. But anyways, before I start blabbing on, let me actually get some precepts. You know, and I named the video this is not for our generation, you know, that excuse along the lines of it's not for our generation, and the fact that it's also linked to the fact that our people, Israelites, have that lack of knowledge. But you know, as Hosea 4 verse 6, which I'll get right now, talks about the fact that our people, or my people, Yahweh Shimon Shah's people, are destroyed because of lack of knowledge. And not just any type of knowledge, you know, knowledge pertaining to them. It's really within the scriptures, their own history, and basically the knowledge that they require, you know, to support themselves in this kingdom. And when I say support, obviously not succeed and, you know, get ahead, but rather to know how to navigate in this system before our kingdom then comes. Yahweh Shah is our ruler. So let me get this precept, man. Let me get it. So Hosea 4 verse 6, that's the one. I'll take too much time, I'll just use my phone instead. Let me get. This is Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. It says here, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, thy God. I will also forget thy children. So of course, that's showing the fact that the knowledge of the scriptures, the knowledge of the scriptures is actually essential to know, to obtain. You gotta have this knowledge right here, the understanding of the scriptures, the understanding of the prophecies to come, and the understanding, his name's Yahweh. That's his name. It's not God. It's the ancient Hebrew. But anyway, the point being is, he said, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. The thing is the knowledge right there. For example, right there, he said God bless. Obviously it wasn't a J, but at the same time, you know, as we know that there may be speckled birds out there, the thing is, you've got to tell him there that the name's actually Yahweh, it's not actually God. Especially, you know, if it's easy to identify that he's a J. Of course, this one may be a speckled bird, may just be a general Edomite. But you know, we put out the truth out there, will blow the trumpet, as we're supposed to. So, Hosea 4 verse 6, it says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. And that's clear, man. Our people, Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, the true so-called Jews, the thing is, you guys are the real Israelites on which have rejected the knowledge. Have rejected the knowledge of which you need, you know, to gain salvation. Because you know, most Israelites right now, they don't even know what the mark of the beast is and how they're supposed to be preparing for it, mentally really. You know, praying to Yahweh Shem Yahshua to keep that spirit upon you, to resist this system, to resist the pleasures of this world as well. You think? So always pray and fast, you know, and that pretty much put out that effort, man, into the works. Brother, you know you're an Israelite. Alright, so let me get my next one. Because, you know, out here, the thing is, as I said, people just don't want to get that knowledge. We're out here preaching, no one wants to listen. You've got to get that knowledge. As it says in Hosea 4 verse 6, my people are destroyed. They're killed. You're going to get judged because they lack knowledge. You see the two Jakes that pass by me, you know, old vessels. They'll be like, they may be thinking, they've already seen all this before. They may be thinking it's a new age movement or something. You know, all these thoughts that they may have, you know. You don't almost see what they're thinking in their minds, almost. So yeah, let me get my next precept. Perfect. Destroyed for lack of knowledge, man. That's why Yahweh Shem Yahshua said he's going to reject their children. You know? Start thinking, why are these curses upon me, man? It's because we rejected Yahweh Shem Yahshua, rejected the knowledge that he gave us as well. Let me actually get my next precept. So you know what, yeah, let me actually get out the scripture for the mark of the beast first, then I'll get to Proverbs, innit? This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16 to 18, about the mark of the beast. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hands or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark of the beast, the mark or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. There is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. And you know, what man actually uses in symbolism that number? Esau, Edom. See that 6 everywhere, man. Everywhere. You know, with his, occultist symbols, and with CERN, that's an example of one. And some other symbols as well, that relates to occultism, Esau's witchcraft. He's the one, he pretty much holds the number, he represents that number 666. And that's referring to the devil's number, the 666, which most people will know it by. The devil's number, which is really Esau in this world. Let me read it again. So of course it says here in Revelation 13 verse 60, it says he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. It says small and great, man, whether you're large in body, small in body. Of course his status as well, an authority, you may be small, you may be big. It says both small and great, and it says rich and poor. So whether a person has a lot of money or a person doesn't have a lot of money, they're poor on benefits and whatnot. And it says here free and bonds. So free, obviously you have the freedom to walk around. You're not really under someone, you're not under subjection under someone. Of course, all this means really is that everyone included, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, they're going to be subject to decide whether to take the mark or not. And it says to receive a mark in their right hands or in their foreheads. And of course, majority of individuals being right-handed, especially in this day and age, that's why, means most individuals are going to take on their right hands. Of course, there are going to be other people who are going to take that microchip on their left hand or whatever part of the body which they're going to use, for payments reasons. Of course, in that B system. Because the point is, they're going to take a chip in their hands or in a part of their body, which they're going to use to pay for things. And of course, it says here, in their right hand or in their forehead. And we know right now with Elon Musk and his Neuralink chip, the thing is with that Neuralink chip, you can also use that in that beast system, that beast economic system, where people are not going to be using cash, they're going to be using microchip implants in order to start paying for goods. Because back in the day, if you look at history, in order to withdraw money, especially in Nigeria as well, you needed to have some kind of payment details on paper to basically prove you could withdraw from your account. Now right now, we went from pretty much payment details to cards, then from cards you can pay with phones or withdraw with your phones, the NFC technology. And after that, the phones, you got thumbprints as well. Thumbprints, Face ID verification, from that to withdraw some money, and that's in other countries as well, not just Nigeria. Nigeria right now, I'm saying Nigeria, first of all began with pay slips, and obviously right now they're using cards. And I think right now, they're using thumbprints as well. Going there, search that up again. But I remember someone mentioning to me that they actually use thumbprints now in some of the banks, to withdraw some money. But the point being is, it's all gradualism to then move on to the microchip implant that will then be used in that new economic system, that new temporary beast economic system. That's the time to come. And it says that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So of course, the mark being the microchip implant, and of course it says no man might buy or sell. So of course, no one's going to be able to run their businesses. No one's going to be able to run, to basically get paid. No one's going to be able to purchase goods and products for themselves without having the mark of the beast. And that's the point right there. It says, save he that had the mark. It says, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So all these are different representations of this beast system. Different ways to pretty much glorify the beast through his name and his image, through his name and his number and his mark. It says here is wisdom.
I've already broken it down technically. You know, Esau, Edom, is the one who holds the 603 saw and 6, the 666 number. He's a walking representation of things. Or pretty much that represents the number of the devil. A walking representation of the devil, of Satan. So come on, that's Revelation 13 up. You know, obviously, whoever Jake may pass by, we're going to preach onto them, you know, break it down. So let me get Proverbs as well. You know, that's part of the knowledge that each Jake should really know. Know to prepare, and obviously know, come back to Yahweh Shem Yahshua, repent, and pretty much have in their mind that they shouldn't be taking this mark of the beast, this microchip implant to come. That's the priority. That should always be in the front of your mind, man. Because you know, slowly, you start seeing the system actually come to that point, little by little. So let me get Proverbs chapter 1 verse 20, linking to the fact that our people lack knowledge. This is Proverbs chapter 1 verse 20. It says wisdom, actually let me read this first. It says wisdom that's Jake right there, man. Imagine being in a prison house and, you know, not even knowing. Just imagine being in a prison house and not knowing. That's the worst time, man. At least be aware. Now, you know, the way Neo formerly, he didn't really know about the fact that he was in the Matrix. But of course, right now, when he took the red pill, then he was awakened to the Matrix. To the fact that he was trapped in a prison house, in a digital prison house. And that's the way Jake needs to wake up, take the red pill, obviously metaphorically speaking to the scriptures, and obviously gain that understanding and pretty much awaken from this matrix, man, this temporary prison. But you know, as soon as Yahweh shall come, Yahweh Shem Yahshua will be worthy, then the thing is we're going to come down alongside with him and pretty much get the kingdom rolling, man, get his kingdom rolling. Brother, you know you're an Israelite. So, Proverbs chapter 1 verse 20 says, wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. So of course, if wisdom is then found in the streets, of course people should be coming out here and be seeking the prophets. It says wisdom crieth without, and of course you see her in the streets, roughly paraphrasing. So I'll read it again. This is Proverbs chapter 1 verse 20. It says, wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. So of course the streets, and I think there's another scripture or precept talking about the fact that the wisdom is seen in the lowly places. It's gained in the lowly places. I might need to search that one up. But let me get a few more precepts and then Yara Tazar, maybe I'll get. So, that's Matthew chapter 20, man. And of course, if Jake knew that, they'll be looking for prophets everywhere. Everywhere. But you know, you got some Akim in different places, man. You know, different parts of the UK. You know the GMS Yorkshire brother, he's in Yorkshire. You got I think some in Birmingham maybe. You got some here in London as well. You know, different parts of the UK, different states in America, different countries. You gotta have Jake out here. If Jake actually, if all Jakes knew this shit, had that knowledge alone of the fact that the wizard was in the streets, and then Yahweh Shem Yahshua, you know, putting that spirit for them to listen, you know, he'll be there. But obviously that's not the ideal scenario. And what I mean is that it will be there, meaning the fact that the truth will be easy to obtain. But you know, Jake will fundamentally know that it's in the streets, in the lowly places. But of course right now, Jake isn't in that position and it's not really ideal for this situation. As you know, only the 144,000 mentioned in Revelation 14, and of course the 1/3 in Zechariah 13, I think verse 8 or 9, you know, only them are pretty much destined, you know, to receive this truth and understanding. Of course, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Tazad, they will also gain that salvation too. That's why we gotta keep going, man. We gotta keep persevering. So, yeah, this one's the one that I was getting, but yeah, let me bring it up. This is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 32. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. So just breaking it down quickly, it says, for the turning away of the simple shall slay them. So you know, Jake out here, You know, just turning away from the preachers out here on the streets and the marketplaces, however location that Jake be in. The thing is, that's because of their ignorance, man. Most of them are willingly ignorant, or the thing is, unknowingly ignorant because of the fact that they think that they know more than the person who's preaching. And that's the thing, man. They don't want to humble themselves in order to get this truth. Which is why the thing is, you shouldn't really try and put down a young vessel that's preaching, man. Because the old vessel, they may think that they know a lot, but of course the young vessel could actually bring out the knowledge of which you're supposed to obtain. That's the key. You can't be putting down a young person just because of their age. Anyways, getting back to the point, about the fact that the turning away, obviously ignorance of the simple, shall slay them, which means they're going to get judged and they'll probably put to death as well eventually in Jacob's trouble. It says here, and prosperity of fools, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. So of course, you know, fools in their mindset think they're doing the right thing, you know, no one's above them, you know, and all these other things, pride, and pretty much the fool's way of thinking, man, the fool's ideology. Fool's ideology, man. You know, got a demon right there, man. As soon as I started preaching, I started playing music. Anyways, how about Shimi Ashara to so you can hear me? You can't hear me because I'm close to the camera. Anyways, Salaki. Let me get off on. So the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. Because you know the fool's ideologies, the way he thinks is then going to lead himself to destruction. That's why I said the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. You know, you can't really have a fool then, you know, succeed in the right way, but he lacks wisdom. That's the point. So, let me get Proverbs, verse 33. It says, but whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely and shall be quiet from fear of evil. You know, in the time to come, in Jacob's trouble, you're going to start seeing all sorts of judgment. Some judges are going to be irritated. I'm preaching right now.
Oh, you're right. Where's the other guys?
Huh?
You was your influence.
Yeah, but we're at this park, innit?
Oh, are they in there?
Not now, but...
Okay, because every time I see him here, man.
Every time?
Yeah. He knows me, man. He knows how deep man is. Get me? So he wants to come and do the congregation.
Huh?
Yeah, so I'm going to tell him that you saw Nubia.
Who?
The master.
What, the other guy?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you mean,
Tell him
yeah.
you saw Nubia, that I'm going to catch up with him soon.
Nubia?
Yeah.
Was that your name?
Yeah, he knows me as Nubia.
Oh!
Listen, I'll see you soon.
Cool. Anyways, I know what the brother's talking about. It's another Jake that I talk to, you know. He always sees me talk to that Jake, you know. But you know, he's kind of an old vessel. But yeah, man. That's pretty much the details right there. Anyways, let me get on. This is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 33. But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil. And of course, right there it says, whoso hearkeneth. Hearkeneth means hear, man. Whoso hearkeneth unto me, whoso hears the words of Yahweh Shimi Ashai, will dwell safely. Imagine having a peace. And the things, you're not just going to dwell safely physically as well, but you're also going to dwell safely mentally as well. You know, right now we face afflictions from demons oppressing us. The fact that we don't have that mental peace as well, especially in the night sometimes, you get certain thoughts that are irritating, that you can't really sleep after you have it. You know, in those times to come, Yahweh Shimi Ashai we're going to be in mental peace. And of course, after mental peace, we're also going to have that physical safety as well. So, that's Proverbs chapter 33, Proverbs chapter 1, verse 33. And it says, and shall be quiet from fear of evil. So, of course, again, referring to Jacob's trouble, man. Man, seeing all these judgments, the thing is, that's going to provoke more fear within us to be like, man, we don't want to be facing no judgment right now, especially in Jacob's trouble, where it's like, Yahweh Shimi Ashai is pretty much saying judgment like this. That thing, multiple shots being shot, you know, like a machine gun. Obviously, if you compare it to a carnal thing, Yeah, the point being is, Judge is going to be firing at a fast rate. That's essentially what I'm saying, man. And that's going to provoke that fear within brothers, man. And then basically be quiet. It's like, okay, cool, just suffer your affliction, your light affliction for the time being. And obviously pray when you need your help, shimmy or shot. You know, those times aren't going to be times to be joking around, bro. Those are going to be some serious times. Imagine. That's like if you really think about it, imagine a time where you know, Jay's gonna be on different stuff. On different stuff. A time of great suffering. Let me get Jeremiah right now. You know, Jay got struggled.